Hello everyone, welcome to the 10th Lord in all the houses. The 10th Lord of your chart is your work in this world, your profession, your job, all of your deeds. It's such an important Lord. What deeds are you destined to perform? You can see by the position of your 10th house Lord. Will you get success? Will you get prominence? Will you get wealth? Everything, in fact, can be seen from the 10th Lord in your chart. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to sub below. And if the video is good for you, give it a thumbs up. Let's begin. Firstly, everybody who are the house lords in Vedic astrology, you should understand that many signs have more than one lord, and you will need to check both to understand your destiny from that house. Secondly, we are using sign for a house system where a whole rasi or sign is contained in each house. This is most important. If you should attempt to use an equal house system, it just won't give you the correct result. The Lord of Aries is Mars, of Taurus it's Venus and the Moon. For Gemini, it's Mercury. For Cancer, the Moon. For Leo, the Sun. And for Virgo, it's Mercury and Rahu. For Libra, the Lord is Venus. For Scorpio, it's Mars and Ketu. For Sagittarius, Jupiter. For Capricorn, Saturn. For Aquarius, Saturn and Rahu. And for Pisces, Jupiter and Ketu. Another important understanding is how do you judge the results of any house in your chart? Strongest indication are given by the planets in the house. First and foremost, check the videos on my channel showing you results of planets in houses in your chart. The next most powerful factor are the aspects to the house, especially when there are no planets in the house. Planets aspecting by sign and site, that planet will give you the result of the house. And finally, it's the Lord of the house, the Bhavesha, what I'm discussing in this series, that will give you the result of the house. Don't forget, all three have to be considered equally in this order of importance. But for those who have rarely no planets in the house nor any aspect, the Bhavesha gives you the total story. The 10th Lord, everyone, is known as the Karmesha because he is the Lord of your karmas, the Lord of your deeds in this world. He is not just job profession. Some people don't have profession, even employed job, but we are all doing deeds. The deeds we have to perform in this world are shown by Karmesha. However, let's first understand the 10th house. It's very important. The 10th house of your chart is very much misunderstood. Let me first of all put this right for you. The 10th house in your chart shows the environment which you work in, the organization who you work for. Where do you go to work? So if it's sitting down, office space, if it's standing up, whatever you are doing, whatever work you perform, where you perform it, and the conditions of that environment are shown by the 10th house. So 10th house then from your Ascendant Lagna will not show you exactly what you will do most cases. That isn't going to happen. But where you will work, how you will work. So how do you get information about profession? First thing, moon chart, Chandra Lagna. Check it out, video on my channel. 10th house from your moon is very helpful in that regard. Next thing, D10 Varga chart. Again, check out the video on my channel. I will link both of those below the video and at the end. So conditions of your working space are shown in the 10th house birth chart. What about how you work? How you work is shown by the planets in that 10th house. So how you work is very important. Let's have a quick look at these planets. Don't forget, if you have no planets 10th house D1 chart, check 10th house Lord. That can sometimes give you indication, or even better, strong aspect from any other planet. If the sun is placed in the 10th house of your chart, you have to have organization, how you work. You work in a totally organized way. Whatever you do, wherever you work, you have to have systematic organization. You cannot work in a chaotic environment. So you are extremely systematic, getting things done in a very logical way. That is why the sun is very strong here in a Digbala position. Moon in the 10th house, you work in a very fluid way because moon is Jala Tattva, water. You only work when you feel like working. When your mind is engaged, when your heart is engaged, if you like, when you really feel good working, you work. But if you don't feel like working, you just can't do it. When Mercury is in your 10th house, you work with high intelligence, high technical skills, and definitely with good analysis. But Mercury is like a child, of course. He likes to have fun. He likes to have enjoyment. So definitely Mercury 10th house, you need to have convivial work atmosphere. You need to have people around you, joking, laughing sometimes. Definitely friends in your workspace. If Venus is in your 10th house, you can enjoy working when it is a pleasant and harmonious environment. You will seek to beautify workspace, seek to make everything harmonious and pleasant for yourself. Sometimes Venus 10th house can be a little bit distracting because it brings attraction into your environment of work, sometimes even relationships in the workplace in some cases. If Mars is in the 10th house of your chart, you work with enormous passion, with enormous strength, with enormous willpower. You are a virtual workaholic depending on the sign. Definitely you give it all. You definitely do not stint in your ability to complete a project. But Mars is Agni Tattva. You will be a very impatient worker. You like to get the job done fast, and you can have clashes and temperamental run-ins with the people in your work environment. When Jupiter is in your 10th house, you work with Dharma. You cannot do a job that is adharmic, not dharmic, such as being a butcher, etc. This would not make you happy, make you fulfill these karmas. You need to do something where you are teaching, giving back. It doesn't mean you are going to be a teacher. Don't forget, it isn't what you do, but how you do it. You do the best work when you are giving out knowledge, helping and supplying wisdom. Saturn in the 10th house, you work extremely hard labor. You don't stop until you have completed the job, no matter how tiresome, no matter how long it takes, no matter how it will exhaust you. You have enormous self-discipline to get the job done. That is good. But sometimes you can be a little bit harsh, a little bit too demanding on those around you. In the work environment, you have to check that. Rahu, North Node in the 10th house of your chart, you are learning how to lead, learning how to work in a new way in this lifetime. You will very often get to the top quickly, but you could fall as quickly as well. Rahu exploits everything in your 10th house environment to get success. So you're a bit of a grasping, greedy worker. That's why you get such success. In fact, Pandit Sanjay Rath has said, Rahu 10th house, you can make money even out of the waste paper in the waste paper basket. You get the idea. When you have Ketu in your 10th house, Ketu is headless, so it's hard to find direction in your career. Sometimes you feel like you're going round in circles, going over the same ground again and again in your work methods. So here's the thing, Ketu 10th house, take every day as it comes. Don't plan ahead too much because it can just exhaust you. Focusing on one task at a time is the way to get success. Now, what about the 10th house lord, your Karmesha? What is Karmesha showing in your chart? Karmesha carries a complicated energy. You have to understand this to see how it's going to be. First of all, he actually has energy of Mercury wherever he is because he gives you intelligence to do the job. Energy of the moon as well because you have to enjoy the job, or how else could you do it? Energy of Saturn to make you work hard. Energy of Jupiter to give you rewards. He's doing quite a lot in your chart, as you see. Karmesha will also show you by his house placement what motivates you to work. Let's have a look at this. When the Karmesha lord of your 10th house is in the 1, 5, 9 houses, the 1st, 5th, 9th house, you are working for Dharma, for righteousness. You are here to do something which is good for this world. You have high morals, high intention in your work, and this has to be good. When you have Karmesha in the 2, 6, 10, in the 2nd house, in the 6th house, in the 10th house, your primary motivation or the main motivation will always be sustenance, security, money coming in. Now, you could say many people have that, but for you, it is a primary factor. When the Karmesha 10th lord is in the 3, 7, 11, in your 3rd house, 7th house, 11th house, what is your motivation? Enjoyment. You've got to love this job. You've got to enjoy the work. Feel that you are getting pleasure and great satisfaction from your work. It's a primary motivation. When you have Karmesha in the 4, 8, 12, in the 4th house, in the 8th house, 12th house, these are the Jala Tattva houses, water houses. These are spiritual houses. Actually, Ultimately, these are the moksha houses leading to liberation. You have somewhat of a debt to pay back, maybe also when you have Karmesha 4, 8, 12. You have to have a service attitude, thinking about other people, not yourself. This service motivation will give you the greatest happiness. A few deeper secrets now about the Karmesha in your chart. See Karmesha wherever he is gone and go 4 houses away from there. 4 houses from your Karmesha in your chart shows you definitely where you get happiness, security and pleasure on your job. What gives you the real satisfaction? Let's have 2 examples. Say your 10th Lord Karmesha has gone into the 7th house of your chart. Go 4 houses away and you get to the 10th house. So some organization, some situation will develop that gives you enormous happiness. You will find a really pleasurable working environment, organization that you feel totally at home with, that you feel totally satisfied with. Now, you may say, I have Karmesha 7th house, but I haven't found that yet. But you will. In the right time in your life, it will surely come. Another example, say you have Karmesha 10th Lord has gone to the 2nd house of your chart. Count 4 houses away, you come to the 5th house. So 5th house matters, or by the way, any planet in that 5th house give you satisfaction. 5th house is children, working with children, working in education, maybe teaching sometimes, and certainly creative work. All of these things give you happiness and satisfaction. When will you change your job? When will there be transformation on your job? You may be forced to leave a job or you just decide to leave. It is 8 houses away from the Karmesha in your chart. So, say once again, Karmesha's gone to the 7th house. You have to count 8 away. You come to your 2nd house. Now, individual chart must be seen. This cannot be generalized. So, have a check. Who is the Lord of that 2nd house? Any planets in the house in there? Mahadasha or Bhukti. Mostly it's the Antardasha. You will have change in your job. You will transform it into something completely different. And definitely when you have transits to this 8th house away from your 7th Lord, you will have a big change in your job, in your career. Particularly Shani transits for everybody, Rahu transits for everybody. Everything changes around in your job situation. So find this 8th house from your Karmesha in your chart. It's really sensitive point. There are many other ways to count from the Karmesha in your chart to see the karmas unfolding, and I will bring these into the readings. How to use these readings. Very important 2 points, everybody. First of all, you must have a Vedic horoscope. You must have a Vedic chart using sidereal signs. If you try to use Western horoscope, tropical zodiac, it will not work. You will have wrong potential 10th Lord and the house placement will be completely out most likely. So check the bottom of my description box if you do not have Vedic chart. That website Devaguru works on any devices. Check it out. Bring up your chart. Secondly, if you do have Vedic chart, great, but make sure it is a sign for a house system being used with that chart. Do not use Bhavachalit. An equal house system will not work with these karmic readings. When the 10th house Lord Karmesha has gone into the 1st house, he's 4 houses away in a Kendra position, a very powerful position indeed. See, 1st house is your fame, is your reputation in this world. 10th house Lord has gone into this house of fame. So you get some reputation, some fame, whether it is local fame, just fame in your office space, or international fame. Other factors have to be seen. The 1st house is the head, is the brain. 10th Lord here gives you high intelligence, high ability, high skill in your job, whatever you do. And you get knowledge easily as well. So it's a very learned position sometime for the 10th Lord when he is in the 1st house. It's also a Raj Yoga position. It can take you to greatness in this world. But what do you have to see? You must see the 1st house Lord. Check my video, 1st Lord in all houses. Judge by that as well to see final result. It's a very creative, even literate actually position for this 10th house Lord. Parashara talks about poetic ability. What he means is that you can use words to make your career successful. You may be writer, songwriter, poet, creative artist, journalist, any of these things. Using words promotes your career. There is one slightly negative factor here because 10th Lord has gone first house. 4 houses away, happiness becomes 4th house. Early childhood situation with your mother. But 4th house is the midnight hour. There is some darkness there. Sometimes there is sickness, difficulty to your mother or to yourself. Either way, it's a tricky time, early childhood environment. After that, it improves tremendously. It is still, though, extremely potent position, a Raj Yoga, giving you potential for greatness from your career. This Raj Yoga is very intellectual. You have to think your way into work situations. You have to use your brain in your work. Any work which is not using intelligence, your brain basically will be totally unsuited to you. And what are your desires? Your desires from your 10th Lord are onto the 7th house. You like to cooperate with other people, work in business situations, definitely be creative, be innovative, most certainly using your intelligence. As I said, sometimes going into business partnerships can be good. Now, from this Karmesha, 9 away is the 9th house, obviously, and this is a dharmic placement, as I've just explained earlier on in the video. Going into foreign lands, having guru, teacher, mentor, having religious, even inspiration furthers you. Foreign lands, foreign travel, foreign influence, and father's influence sometimes also later in life can be helpful for you. It's a very talented position indeed because the rewards come from 5 houses away, 5th house. You have to be an individualistic person, being creative, being innovative. This is what gets you noticed. This is what gets you success. Don't be afraid to stand out from the crowd. You transform your job very, very well. Again, you take control of every new stage of your career. Why? Because 8 houses away is the 8th house itself. So you are powerfully determined to take control of your job, of your career. It's hard for you to be at the mercy of other people. You are in control. You get fame for who you are, fame for what you do at whatever level at all. The Karmesha 10th Lord has gone into the 2nd house of your chart. This is a very special position in some ways. 10th Lord carries Mercury and Jupiter energy, as I've just explained. In this house of wealth, it can increase wealth greatly in your life. As I said earlier on in the video, 10th Lord, 2nd house, earning money, saving money is important for you. It just is necessary. Family concerns, very important also. Maybe supporting family, some of you, through your work. Here's the thing, you worry a lot about material security, but it always usually increases unless 10th Lord is severely afflicted. That is normally the case. And because the 10th house Lord has gone 5 away, you will have skill. You will have talent, which you can utilize in your workplace. It's definitely favorable because Parashara talks about extreme talent and skill of this position. What is your real blessing? It is your speech. It is the sound of your voice which attracts people to you. Your way of speaking, your accent, your tone, your articulation is brilliant, is extremely attractive to other people. When people hear you speak, they are attracted, they trust you, they are influenced by you. So often what you do, no matter what you do for your career, your speech will improve your success. Your way of speaking to other people is appropriate and entirely measured. So you can speak to the boss, to the workers at the bottom of your hierarchy, whatever it is, in a very appropriate way. People learn to trust you when they hear you speak. The 2nd house is a house of moral values. Have high moral values. You can even enslave people by your speech. People will do what you want when you talk to them. It is that powerful, you'll see. So use it ethically. Don't tempt people into not good activity. So any malefics afflicting this 10th house Lord, you could be tempted into this route. Don't go there. It could be very difficult. Mostly 10th house Lord, 2nd house, you are charitable, giving with your wealth. And this is very good to make your 10th house karma stronger. But here's the problem. What are you desiring most? It's in the 8th house. The 8th house is other people's wealth. You are desirous not exactly of their wealth, but you are desirous of their status. You are looking at what they've got and thinking, why shouldn't I have it? And that can be a problem. Don't compare yourselves to other people in your career, in your working space, in any area of your life. It's going to create difficult karmas for you. Don't become envious. Don't become desirous of what other people have. You will get everything you need by this very favorable position. Do not compare your wealth to other people's wealth. That's the big thing. Work in your own way. Your family is important to you. You can support family, help family by this position. And where do you get satisfaction in your career, in your work in the world? From the 5th house, 4 houses away. Working with children, teaching, mentoring, guiding people, all of these things. Education gives you happiness. Get a good education, no matter how late. Get that education. It will help you, give you happiness. And from creative endeavors such as acting, drama, all of these things are particularly shown by the 5th house. But you attract competitors. 5 houses away is the 6th house. Your rewards come because you soar above competition, but competitors may be dangerous for you. Don't get engaged in office politics, office quarrels. You could come out the worst in these cases. Now, the whole chart must be seen, but when we go 8 houses away, we come to the 9th house. Sometimes foreign lands, foreign travel, foreign culture absolutely ends one phase of your career. Indeed, because 11 houses away is the 12th house from this karmacia. So foreign lands don't favor your career generally with this position, but the whole chart has to be seen. Karmacia 10th Lord has gone 6 away into the 3rd house. It's not an unfavorable position, but it will bring conflict into your life, in your career, in your public life sometimes. It's definitely good though for getting support in your career. Conversely, support from your siblings, support from your employees, people you employ, support from your work colleagues even. Sometimes it can go either way. See the aspects to 10th Lord to see how it's going to go for you. But what's going on here? Because Karmacia has gone 6 away, you're a contract worker type of person. You like to do short-term contracts sometimes or take on more than one job at the same time. You fulfill contracts with enthusiasm, with dynamism, and you move on to the next one. You like to work like that. It's good for work with your hands because 3rd house is hands. It's very, very good for skillful, talented work of all sorts. You have to be focused on each job one at a time, however. But because you take on so much, sometimes you get into sticky situations. That's the thing. Don't let other people get you down. Don't forget, you are someone who's extremely talented in your speech, just like 10th house, 2nd house. But you have to grow in confidence in this over time. One thing for sure, what you say you will do, you will do. You are very true to your word. You definitely are someone that other people can rely on. You like to help other people, serve other people. You like to do work where you are actually supporting others. Why? Because 5 houses away gives you reward. 5 houses is relationship. Sometimes you can work with your spouse or for your spouse with this position. And again, sorting out people's problems 4 houses away is good. Even medical work, legal work can be excellent. You can be an expert advisor to other people in crisis, even sometimes working with non-human beings, because 6th house is about this. But serving others, helping others, giving of your skill to others, you can get very, very good success. In some cases, depending on the actual lord, this is a Mars house, 3rd house, Mars house, 6th house. So you can actually be in Mars careers like policing or these sort of careers, army work sometimes, occasionally, or definitely engineering. And your communication is motivating for others. This is what is so special about 10th Lord in this 3rd house. You bring others out of the depths of despair. You motivate them. You spur them on. It's a very special talent. One thing, because 10th Lord, 3rd house looks on 9th house, foreign lands, international work. You can work far away. You can have foreign contacts, very, very successful for you. You can even travel consistently in connection with your work. When the Karmesha 10th Lord's gone into a Kendra, the 4th house, it's a happy position. This is a house of happiness, fulfillment, inner bliss, if you like. You get this from your work generally. It's not just even from your work. You are a very contented person. Parashara talks about this, and it's a very, very good position for wealth, property, and success generally. Of course, 4th house is the house of home. Some people work in landed interest property deals and can become extremely successful if there is not affliction to this 4th house lord. That is generally definitely seen, but that is not the only industry you can work in. Whatever you do by the other karmas in your chart, see your D10 chart, see your Chandra Lagna. Don't forget, as I've just said, you do it with your heart. Your heart goes into your work. It makes you happy. You cannot work in any other way. You know how to pace yourself. You know how to take a break when you need it. You don't put too much burden on yourself, but you do what needs to be done. This is a healthy attitude to your work. And you care deeply about family, deeply about mother, a very karmic relationship. You have work to do to support mother. Carry this out. It's going to make you happy also. Of course, because 10th Lord has gone to the 4th house, you do often work from home. Making workspace in your home can be very successful for you, but you don't have to do that. You can work in other people's homes as well. Interior decorator, designer, all of these things are also shown. It's a very good position for owning own business, definitely, because what gives you happiness is 7th house marketplace. You can work from home, doing any self-employment, definitely. And business partnership is also very, very successful also. When you change a job, though, you get rewards. You get rewards frequently because 5 houses away is the 8th house of change. So in transforming something for other people, in being there for other people in emergency, you are given reward. However, 8 houses away itself is the 11th house. Sometimes work colleagues give you stress. Work colleagues give you problems. It depends on your working environment. Don't get into contentions with them. It can cause you enormous stress long term. But generally, since you do tend to work for yourself very often, work from home, work in business partnership, it's not normally so much of a problem. When Karmesha 10th Lord has gone into the 5th house, you might be worried because it's gone 8 houses away, but actually it's a very favorable, strong position. Parashara talks about that you are blessed with knowledge because 5th house is about knowledge. You have wide learning and educational success unless 10th Lord is really afflicted. It's favorable for karmas connected to your children, and it definitely gives you that Raj Yoga of the 1st, 5th, 9th position, giving you wealth, status, and success. Once again, though, when there are afflictions, it will be limited, but still success will be there. Extremely creative position, there's no doubt. You can get success in all creative situations, writing, artist, musician, anything. But 4 houses away is the 8th house. You go deep into the mysteries of life when you have 10th Lord, 5th house, and these mysteries, occult study, astrology, could give you career success as well, some of you. Your primary purpose is to guide people, help people through their crisis situations. You are a fantastic teacher, guide, mentor, even guru sometimes. The more education you get, the more rewards you get. Always make sure that you get the highest education possible when you have 10th Lord, 5th house. It is necessary to your success. 5 houses away, rewards come from your teachers, mentors, gurus, people who guide you. Even father can give you rewards. And generally, foreign lands, foreign cultures, far distant places can become lucky for you, part of the rewards which you get in your career. So don't be afraid to explore these in any way. One thing though, the 8th house away from here becomes the 12th house. Going into these far distant places turns your career upside down into something completely new. But in general, though, 10th Lord, 5th house, you go through many changes in your career, many complete transformations. This can actually give you happiness. Don't be afraid to start something new. Leave the past behind at any time it seems necessary, because 4 houses away is the actual 8th house of transformation. Something you transform. Sometimes you transform into something completely different career-wise, and it's not a bad thing for you at all. When Karmesha has gone 9 houses away, he's going to give you skill. He's in the 6th house of technical skill, and artistic skill particularly comes to people with the 10th Lord in the 6th house. But there is a struggle, there's no doubt, because it is Dustana house. You are here to serve others, but you don't always want to serve so much as express yourself. It's a conflicting situation. You have many competitors finding a job. Sometimes you just have this artistic temperament whereby you are not meant to have career where you're going up career ladder, but where you are creating beautiful art. That can be seen. Many artists get fame after death, and this is actually shown by this position. How is that? Because 5 houses away from Karmesha is reward, and it's gone into the 10th house. Natural 10th house is Makara sign, Capricorn sign, which is the graveyard. It gives success after you die. Success which never dies, basically. So you can become famous long term, well after you have left this body, left the planet. So it's a actually very extraordinary position to have 10th Lord, 6th house. Don't become afraid of this. You should definitely work with your hands sometimes. Hands-on technical work, sculpting, artist, anything where you are hands-on work with a skill, it is very successful. Now, because this 10th Lord has gone into the 6th house, which is naturally ruled by Shani and Mars, physical labor can be actually good. Any job where you are working with whole body can be excellent, give you success, give you feeling of satisfaction and happiness. And certainly medical workers of any sort, doctors, nurses, therapists, can often have 10th Lord, 6th house. Why? Because your desire is on the 12th house of hospitals, of definitely treating sick and injured people. So this is definitely good. And 6th house is non-human beings as well, pets mainly, but all non-human. So working with them also can be auspicious. Where'd you get happiness? It's 4 houses away, 9th house. You get happiness from your teachers. Teachers inspire you. Mentors, gurus inspire you and help you in your journey in this life. You get help from your father sometimes. But here's the thing. Sometimes it can be that you lose father by this position. It depends who is 10th Lord and how well he is aspected. It's important also to compete only with yourself, not with other people. Be your own best supporter. Be independent of what other people say you should do as well, although you will get good advice, as I've said, 9th house, because this is house of competitors. You will face many competitors. Never give up. You have your special place in the sun for sure. When Karmesha's gone Kendra to the 7th house is definitely good. It's a powerful Kendra position. You get success, prominence, and you get noticed in your career. But there is a slight problem with this position. Because 10th house Lord Karmesha takes moon energy, mind energy. Your mind is on relationships, on your partner, on relationship situations, difficulties, especially when there are many, many other planets in this house. Just 1 or 2 planets, 7th house, and you get distracted from your career sometimes by relationship issues. On the other hand, you can meet partner on the job. You can have marriage with somebody who you work with, or you can actually work with a spouse in your career. Either way. One thing you are very good at, Karmesha gone to 7th house, public relations. You know how to deal with people from all walks of life. You know how to sell organization. You know how to sell your own business. And this is a very successful factor. Very often other people generally are source of your success. You get excellent references, get promoted, get applauded, get pushed up that ladder when you have powerfully good planets either aspecting 7th house or in 7th house sometimes. Definitely you get supported in your career by mentors and those who approve of you. However, despite the way superiors can support you, sometimes workplace colleagues or competitors come into your life. This is the actual house of war as well. So it's a very competitive business atmosphere here. You have to be on top of the marketplace at all times. Onward, you get comfort, happiness. It comes from the 10th house, from an organization, from a special place. At some point in your life, you will virtually land on your feet. You will land in an organization that just feels like home. Workplace feels like home. Organization feels part of you, fits you like a glove. You will find this definitely at some point in your life. On another level, 10th Lord here, spouse, partner, relationship is very important in your success. Spouse can promote you, support you or not, depending on planets here. So you have to have a really close look at this. If spouse is supporting you, it's great. If spouse is not supporting you, it can lead to real friction in the actual relationship and actually harm promotion to your job. Because 7th house is natural house of Venus, who you work with is important. You need to have harmony in your workplace. 5 houses away, rewards. You get friendships from your work network, maybe long-lasting friends as well. And the 10th house Lord faces 1st house. You desire to be yourself, express yourself fully in the job. And normally with this auspicious placement, you will eventually definitely do that in the right organization, as I say, or the right business situation. 6 houses away, though, is the 12th house. Sometimes foreign lands don't help you. Sometimes foreign connections, foreign lands can be tricky, something to watch out for. When the Karmesha has gone into the 8th house, your attitude to work will be extraordinary, very different to the normative attitude to work and to money. This is like a sadhu house, like 12th house. It does not mean you are necessarily going to not be working or be in some renounced situation. Most people that will not happen, of course, but you are not attached to just money, just status, just job. You have higher things on your mind. So when Karmesha, Lord of your deeds, is in this 8th house, first of all, he will give you a blessing of this house. This is the actual house of longevity. You can often have long life by this position. But you may have difficulty settling down in profession. Sometimes your mind is always on different things. You find it hard to give yourself heart and soul to profession. Why is this happening? Because happiness comes in the 11th house when you feel you are doing something worthwhile in this world, but you are always feeling like this isn't the right position for you. You are easily dissatisfied in a job situation. So you are certainly not attached to any position. You could leave a job quickly overnight without even looking back. You could leave even without giving notice sometimes. You're entirely independent in your working life. You are not attached physically, emotionally, intellectually to any job situation. You just move on, do not look back. So you are suiting self. That's the thing. You are very unlikely then to stick in any job you are not happy with. But on the other hand, you're service orientated. Rewards come 5 houses away, 12th house, giving to others, serving, emotionally supporting others, occult knowledge, deep spiritual wisdom, which you share with other people. Very often also going into foreign land is helpful and can be supportive to you. 9 houses away from this Karmesha is the mother house. You have a very special bond with your mother and you have a very generous giving heart. You are giving, you are kind, you are compassionate. These are very, very favorable factors. It's a very up and down career then, definitely 10th Lord, 8th house, unless you are in some profession which is definitely 8th house orientated, like psychotherapist, doctor, surgeon sometimes, where you are perhaps serving in a very low-key situation. But again, it's up and down in regard to employment. It does not mean you are not going to get success. Very often you get success, but you just don't boast about it. It's not what it's all about. Money in the bank is not what gives you that happiness and success. So coaching other people, supporting other people, healing other people, big healing energy here, giving advice to other people, these sort of careers give you the best satisfaction. And it's important for you to be independent, self-satisfied. 10th Lord, 8th house, you can become critical of other people. This can cause difficult clashes for you and much unhappiness. Try to just do your job in your own way. This is much smoother for you. When the 10th Lord has gone 12 to himself, but he's gone into the 9th house, it's more favorable than you may think. It's not loss of your career, but it is going to definitely bring you a different path maybe to what you expected early in life. You will feel this feeling from very early on that you're going to have some fortune with your career, but you're not quite sure what it's going to be. Here's the thing, you have very special karma when you go with the highest ethics, highest standards in whatever you do, because 9th house is the house of dharma. When you lose that dharma, when you become manipulative, sly, doing things behind the scenes, when you are not honest, your downfall will happen very, very swiftly indeed. But if you are forthright, dharmic, completely honest, you get fame, you get wealth, you get all the fortune. And yes, foreign lands will figure in your life in a big way. Different cultures, traveling abroad, living abroad is very often seen with this 10th Lord, 9th house. So certainly you get satisfaction, foreign lands, opportunities, business opportunities, work opportunities, foreign lands, but 12th house is still a house of loss. It simply means that opportunities come, foreign lands, definitely cultural differences, different places are exciting to you, but you get monetary loss there a little bit as well. It's not so happy for your financial situation in a steady way. You can have wealth certainly because it's Trikona house, Lakshmi Sthana house, and it is still a Raj Yoga position. As I've said at the beginning of this video, 159, very successful, but there is still some bit of financial instability. But there is one way to minimize all of your losses completely, because the 10th Lord has gone 12 to himself. It's important to share. This is the big secret about 10th Lord, 9th house. When you give away willingly, when you do not cling on to things, when you share money, resources, time, whatever it is, to other people, it comes back to you multiplied. That's one of the blessings of this Trikona house, 10th house Lord. And 9th away is the actual 5th house of children. This is quite karmic. You can often have a lot of children. Some people with this 10th Lord, 9th house, but karmic involvement with them. Many of your deeds are to do with legacy for your children. It can get a little complicated sometimes. So 10th Lord in this 9th house, obligations to your children are a part of this important karma. And big changes in your job happen in connection to domestic situation. Domestic situation is 8th house away from this 9th house Lord. So every time job changes, domestic situation changes, they seem to go together. Now, 10th Lord's gone into the house of publishing, writing, actually, and higher learning philosophy. You have a big interest in expanding knowledge of philosophical, religious systems, and this can be even a little bit sometimes profitable to you. Certainly, you're a very talented writer. Writing itself, 3rd house, can provide definite income for you. When the Karmesha 10th Lord is in the actual 10th house, it's a very strong factor. It's a Siddhi Yoga. What is Siddhi Yoga? Siddhi Yoga means you get extreme power from this, extreme competence, extreme willpower to do things beyond what is humanly possible even, some people. Parashara talks about success at anything. You are courageous, you are enterprising, nothing stops you when you set your heart on your goal. Because the Lord in his own sign is high at the tattva level. He has pure intention, incredible focus. This means whatever you do in this world, whatever you set your heart on, you can make a success of it. Now, this could be dharmic or adharmic. Obviously, you have to see the Lord involved in all the other planet aspects. But let's make it a good thing in this world, because 10th Lord, 10th house gives you definite success. If there are obstacles, afflictions of highly malefic planets like Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, Mars, or if the Lord is that Lord but still afflicted, there will be obstacles, but you will overcome them. But definitely, what are you looking at? What are you desiring? It is the 4th house, the home, the security, the domestic bliss. You can have this. You put effort into property purchases, property improvement, and these can also be sources of income to you. What is giving you happiness and security in your work in this world is actually the 1st house. You desire 4th house, but 1st house gives you that. So what does this mean? You must be yourself. Just like 10th Lord, 1st, 4th, 7th, being who you are, being individual, being who you truly feel you are in your heart, doing those things, you will get success. So don't try to be somebody else. Don't try to copy somebody else. Be unique. Be individual. This will actually give you fame, because 4 away is what you can attain easily. You can easily attain fame in your own work circle or even internationally. And it's a definite wealth-giving position, because 5 away, rewards are coming into your bank balance. Rewards are financial, rewards are substantial, more security by pushing out in your own individual direction. Now, you might think 10th Lord, 10th house, you're going to be the boss, you're going to be manager, ruler, CEO, whatever. It isn't working like that. You may get that by other karmas, other factors connecting to this 10th Lord, D10 chart, etc. So much else to see. But 10th Lord, 10th house simply says that you can be successful whatever you do, whatever level. It's not about rising to the top, although many of you will do that. It's about being successful at it, and you will become a role model, that's the thing, for other people at whatever level you are working. And this is where you will get responsibility. 10th house is about responsibility. If you should do anything unethical which brings that role model situation into question, you stop being somebody who other people look up to. It can be very, very damaging indeed. Why? Because 8 houses away is the 5th house in your chart. 5th house is education, younger people, and those who basically are your fans, yeah? So if you lose their support, people who applaud you, people who support you, people who have your back because of any behavior by many other karmas, it will ruin reputation, and this will have a very bad effect on your career. It's very important to understand the 10th Lord has gone to the highest point of the chart. The skies, the heavens are here, 10th house. So the sky is literally the limit for you. Truly, whatever physical limitation, whatever mental health limitation you may have, whatever fears, phobias, anxieties, all of these things, you can overcome them. Whatever social background limitation you may have or perceive that you have in your career area, you will definitely overcome it. 10th Lord, 10th house gives you that power. Use it well. When your Karmesha 10th Lord has gone into the 11th house, one thing for sure, he's gone 2 away. It's going to increase wealth, profit in your life, but it's definitely who you know rather than what you know that will drive your whole career. 10th Lord has gone into the house of network circles, colleagues in your workplace, who you network with, people that you know, not necessarily very close friends, but networks. Now, within these circles, your career will be made or basically broken as well. Watch who you connect with. Watch who you talk with. Make sure they are trustworthy people at all times, and they will give you fantastic ideas, promote you, open doors to you, what opportunities these people will bring. It's a fantastic position for enterprising people, self-employed people, because you get the network circles to promote business. So business slowly grows over time. Hard work is necessary. You can't depend on other people opening up all the doors, but this is the positive factor. And the opposite house is fifth house. So you are focused on creativity, doing things differently in a unique way. So it's excellent for any self-employed promotional business where you need other people to perhaps buy your goods, etc., buy your services. It's excellent for service industry, actually, self-employment. It's superb for creative people, writers, dancers, anybody in the entertainment industry, anybody doing anything with acting talent. All of these fifth house things can definitely be well served by 10th Lord in the 11th house. And you are equally desirous of fifth house factor education, giving education in your job. So tutoring others, mentoring others, supporting others, counseling others, just going out there and doing things which makes other people's lives better, because 11th house is Aquarius house, humanitarian work. All of these factors give you happiness and give you success. And you will enjoy your work, just like the 3rd, 7th, 11th position. 10th Lord here, you have to enjoy the work. So the more happiness, enjoyment you get, you pass on to other people. Whatever you are doing, do it with happiness in your heart, with a service attitude, and income, definitely ruled by this house, will increase slowly over time. What can stop you in your tracks, though, is the 8th house away. So when you change your job, when you get major obstacles, have to transform into something else, it's because of 6th house. You've got to take care of your health on the job. Keep yourself healthy, keep yourself fit. This can stop income occasionally, but the main thing is competitors. The 6th house rules the competition. You're going to have many competitors in your job, in your rise, in your self-employment if it is. Many competitors, even sometimes putting obstacles in your path. Try to avoid litigation, getting into battles with them. This won't help you. Yes, you have many fans, many supporters, but still breaking off into two camps, all of these things. Keep it calm on the job. Where things are just not working, transform yourself, move on, and just simply do things a little differently. Often gives you further success. You have to keep yourself skilled up, though, totally, because 5 houses away is the 3rd house of skill. You get reward for your skill, so keep your skills up to date. As soon as you go behind with these, as soon as skills do not fit marketplace, you could have absolute losses. That's important to understand. But the 4th house away is the 2nd house. No matter what you do, you desire to make it last, and you can keep yourself skilled up, get over the competition, transform periodically. But having one job, one skill, which you expand over time, gives you monetary success and security. When the 10th Lord Karmesh has gone to the 12th house, there's going to be a little bit of anxiety in your career, anxiety in your work in this life. But you must learn to calm this down and overcome it, because great talent is shown here. When this 10th Lord has gone 3rd away, you have skill, you have talent. Parashara says this. You must believe in your own talent. This is the problem. Lack of self-confidence may be there for some time, but with powerfully good aspects, you will overcome it and get excellent success. Just like 10th Lord gone into the 8th house, you have a service attitude which you must promote. You are here to pay a debt to society, give something back. How do you do that? By finding a skill and exploiting it. See it by the planet, like Mars, maybe engineering, maybe occult study, astrology, Mercury, writing, novelist, Moon, novelist again. You can see in this way. But here's the thing, aspect to the 3rd house. You have to communicate far and wide, even into foreign lands. Communication is not so difficult these days over the internet, yeah? So communicating far and wide with your talent, exploiting it, you are fulfilling these karmas. And certainly many novelists, writers, bloggers, internet pioneers, all of these people communicating far and wide with your knowledge, sharing it gets you success and deep happiness. You are talented in occult astrology, digging up the mysteries of life with the subconscious mind, other people's motivations. You understand them totally. Fantastic. Psychologist, psychotherapist, all of these things. And definitely even history, archaeology fascinates you. As I say, digging up things which are hidden. Sometimes you actually go into foreign lands to exploit this talent. That can be shown very, very simply. 10th Lord, 12th house, foreign shores. But the main thing is you need a little bit of peace and quiet, a little bit of isolation to truly exploit these hidden talents. You don't always go into isolation. Sometimes you are happiest sort of hidden away, working within a really large organization ruled by this house, such as schools, prisons, asylums, hospitals, definitely, where you are hiding away but being of use. Not so much noticed, not so much in the limelight. You are seeking 6th house. You are seeking to heal and to help others. Occasionally, because rewards come from the 4th house of your home, selling property, getting involved in real estate, landed interest can be successful if there are favorable aspects, maybe in foreign shores as well. The biggest problem with the 10th Lord, 12th house is that although you desire to serve others, help others, heal others, definitely, 6th house is your own weaknesses, your own shadrapus, and these are what are the greatest obstacle to your career. So because 12th house shows karmic debt, you must deal with these weaknesses. Now, you must see video on my channel, definitely 6th Lord in all the houses. That will show you clearly what are these weaknesses, 6th house. Dealing with them strengthens your success. Dealing with them strengthens your career path totally. Otherwise, these personal weaknesses, shadrapus, will become dangerous to your career long term. So definitely seek out that video. Now, the 8th house away from this 10th Lord, 12th house is the 7th house. Watch personal relationships. When you have relationship problems, it completely stops you focusing on your career. It is as though only when relationships are smooth can you focus yourself. Try to steady this. Choose partner very, very carefully. Sometimes partner, worst case scenario, can be totally opposed to your success, can be in some way, whether it is conscious or not, stopping you having success by things going on in their life. It's very, very important when you have 10th Lord, 12th house to have harmonious, suitable relationship. And certainly same things goes for business partners. It's definitely not good, 10th Lord, 12th house, to really go into business partnerships. Better to be self-employed or to work in larger organizations like I have indicated. Finally, very, very important, Parashara talks about 10th Lord, 12th house. You worry a lot. Why are you worrying? I've told you beginning of the video that the 10th Lord has moon energy as well as Mercury, Jupiter, Shani. So you are worried about your security, moon. You are worried about finances. I've discussed that. You are worried definitely about many things happening which you cannot control in the world. You are so sensitive that your mind is picking up other people's anxieties as well. This is why you are seeking seclusion, quietude. That's why it's so important for you to have this periodically. Get away from everything, go to some secluded place, but daily have relaxation, meditation. This will ensure your success and remove so much negativity which is hindering you. Check out the other videos on your screen right now for the Lords through all houses. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to sub below. Goodbye for now and God bless everyone.